In this video, I'll be talking about IQ Data International. Hi, I'm Consumer Protection Attorney Bill Clanton. I've helped hundreds of people deal with debt collection harassment, inaccurate credit reporting, auto fraud, and other consumer-related matters. At the end of this video, you'll understand who IQ Data is, what kind of business they're in, and the laws that protect you from their bad acts. IQ Data International is a third-party debt collector focused on collecting rental-type debts. What is a rental debt? A rent debt is a debt that is from an old apartment, typically an old apartment. What I've seen in these cases is an apartment complex will have a debt for somebody moving out early termination, or there's damage to the apartment, and they send these over to third-party debt collectors like IQ Data International. IQ Data International collects these debts. Many times there's issues with these debts. The apartments aren't damaged, or there was an agreement with the apartment complex to move out early that is not honored by the management. There's lots of issues with these debts. So IQ Data International collects these debts. They're out of Washington, a town called Bothell, Washington. They've been sued dozens of times in federal courts all over the country. And they are required to follow the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, or the FDCPA. That's the primary law that applies to third-party debt collectors, but there's two others they'll talk about as well. The Fair Debt Collection Practices Act says that IQ Data International can't call you before 9 a.m. or after 8 p.m. They cannot harass you. They cannot use profanity or obscenity. They cannot misrepresent the amount of the debt, the character of the debt, or the legal status of the debt. If you dispute the debt, they have to report the debt as disputed. They cannot make any kind of misrepresentation or threaten to take an action that they don't intend to take. They cannot add any fees to it that are not provided for in the original contract with the apartment complex. Within 5 days of their initial contact with you, or as part of their initial contact with you, they have to send you in writing what's called the G notice. The G notice is part of the FDCPA at 15 United States Code 1692G. And it says that they have to provide you with the name of the current creditor, the amount of the debt, and certain disclosures about your right to dispute the debt and request verification of the debt. If they make mistakes in those letters, or have inaccuracies or confusing information in those letters, then you can bring a case against them for violating the FDCPA. If they violate the FDCPA, you can get your actual damages, statutory damages up to $1,000. They'll pay your attorney's fees and costs. The Telephone Consumer Protection Act, the TCPA, is another law that applies. IQ Data International may still be using an auto dialer. If they're using an auto dialer and they place a call to your cell phone without your permission, then they have violated the TCPA. If they have your permission, they haven't, but you can revoke your permission by saying, please stop calling me at this number. It's my cell phone. So what happens if they violate the TCPA? The TCPA has damages from $500 to $1,500 per call. The damages add up very quickly under the TCPA, and there's a big incentive for them not to violate it. The third law is the Fair Credit Reporting Act. IQ Data International has to follow the Fair Credit Reporting Act, meaning they have to report accurate data only. They cannot report inaccurate data on your credit report. They also have to investigate any dispute you make and correct information they find to be inaccurate. If IQ Data reports inaccurate data and you dispute it and they fail to correct it, then you can have a case against them for the damage they've done to your credit report. The Fair Credit Reporting Act also says that they have to pay your attorney's fees. So 2 out of these 3 laws that protect you say they have to pay your attorney's fees. That means that you don't have to pay anything to hire an attorney to help you out with these problems. Look, if IQ Data International is harassing you or reporting inaccurate information about you on your credit report, you can do something about it. You don't have to take it. Call me. My office has the experience, the systems, and the know-how to fight IQ Data International for you. I can't do it until you call me. My number is 210-226-0800. Thanks for watching.